I'm not sure.
I don't have any, but you can check.
No, that's fine. We'll eventually grab your information and all. And like I told him, I'm not trying to talk down on you guys. I'm from the east side. I grew up here.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not somebody who had it made in Sylvania. And
right.
I get people go through shit.
Yes,
I understand that. Yes, I'm not trying to talk down on you guys and make you guys feel a certain type of way, make you feel like a bad mom, a bad whatever. I understand that. But at a certain point, too far is too far.
I know, and that's what I be telling you.
I understand.
I'm the oldest sister, so you know.
That's where we are right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
we're gonna get some stuff figured out.
So do I go clean the house or what?
Can you bring me my? Never mind. Just hang tight for me. So your children live here as well?
Yes, ma'am.
How many kids?
I have 8.
8 kids here?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Can I go clean? Like,
okay.
Please.
Hold on. I understand. Just give me a minute.
Hey, if y'all.
Okay. On here, I want you to write your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your phone number.
I'll be right back.
Guys.
What's that?
There?
What's that? Yeah.
That's pretty much about it. It doesn't go any further than that. I guess it's for us to ponder. Yeah. So basically, my question is, okay, now that we 8 kids, well, no, what's up, Chuck? Welcome. It was 13 in total. So 5 kids, family members live in the same house, 5 kids to one. The 5 kids belong to the gentleman that's being taken away, and the rest are hers, 8. From what it seems, there's multiple adults living. What it seems is multiple adults living in the home, so it's not just the one person with a bunch of kids. The house is in squalor. The cops were called to begin with because apparently there was a report of a kitten getting thrown or killed, and there's a smell. There's a putrid smell. So we've dove down, like, you know, the fact that the man was home, the wife is at work. So like we're arguing the whole the whole thing that men say that they do better at raising kids. Well, clearly if he's the one at home with the kids, do men really do better? So we dove into that whole idea, that whole concept. And then for me, my first initial reaction when I was watching this backstage with Toots was the kids were very open. When the cops came, they were friendly, they're happy, they're not withdrawn. You know, for them, they're just chilling. They didn't seem to be abused in a way that I'm thinking of kids that are abused, like going back to this whole story with the 16 kids most recently in Ohio too, where there was abuse, there's severe neglect, all that stuff. These kids look pretty much fed, right? There's happiness to them. So yes, there's deplorable neglect and abuse because of the living conditions. But what I saw was at least they're adjusted. Whereas in Tootie saw the complete opposite. She saw that kids that are overly friendly to adults that run up to them and hug them right away are lacking some kind of adult love. And so that to her immediately was a red flag, where to me, it wasn't. So that's where we're at with the conversation. And my next thing is, now, given that we know what happens with kids who are taken out of their homes and put into foster care, and Melanie, I mean, you have firsthand experience with this, so maybe you want to come up, even though you're in a bad mood. Is it better for these kids to be taken out of the home and put in other homes? Anyone can answer the question. Is anyone there? Am I talking to myself?
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
Everybody else is muted.
I was cutting something up. I'm cooking.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's my question, right? Because, okay, so you look at this from stay with me, guys, because if you're not digging it, then I could
Yeah,
totally
no,
end
I'm
the
with you
fucking
now,
show. Like
100%.
I'm not here to talk to myself. I can talk to chat, but thank you. So Arlen, I will come up to back you. Thank you, Vanta. I'm like, I've asked this question like 4 times already.
Being sent messages. I was reading messages.
So Hafez entered. You can let him up. What's up, Hafez? Welcome. So the question is, right, now that we've seen this, now that we've seen that it's like deplorable, we've seen that they're living in filth. Obviously, these kids are neglected. What I saw in a bigger picture was they're at least adjusted. They're happy. They look like they've been fed. They don't look malnourished. They're not withdrawn to showing some signs of something deeper, like physical abuse, essay abuse, stuff like that, right? So that I'm looking at it overall. So please, by no means do I think that that's a healthy environment for kids to be in. Now, knowing what we know, and also because we're into true crime, we've seen stories about kids being put in foster care and how, that's even worse. I don't know the rest of the story. So now we're pondering. Now we're actually going to go into hypotheticals. Would these kids be better off taken out of this home and put into care? Or is it still better for them to be together in this home, even though the conditions? Let me read it quick before you guys answer. A Million Sparks, $5. Greetings, Arla. I'm wishing you a great stream. Thank you so much, A Million Sparks. I appreciate you. I love your freaking work. By the way, genius edits. For those of you who don't know, A Million Sparks, beautiful editing work. So definitely go follow A Million Sparks if you want to drop another. I'll give you a wrench so you could drop your channel in the chat. Go ahead.
Okay. What was I going to say in that moment? What were you saying just before you?
I would say get them out of the house immediately. If
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the whole thing. We don't. What I was going to say is that we don't have enough information yet. In this situation, there's probably so much more that's going on behind those doors in that house than what we actually saw. Yeah, because that we just saw what it was just beginning. He was just getting arrested, so I can't make it a total determination of how I would recommend to handle what happened there. Maybe it was just a bad day. Who knows? We don't know all that. But if it goes to where the abuse is something more than just the neglect and the nastiness and whatnot, we didn't get that far. But yeah, if they are being more than that in an abuse, yeah, yanking the kids. But if it's just a little bit of dirtiness and whatnot, no, don't take them from their fucking parents.
Well, there's no way of letting kids being brought up in that situation, because I was brought up in a house that's nothing but a shithole.
Well, the kids in this situation do need to be taken away because the mom or whomever, the adults, need a wake-up call. Obviously, they haven't had a wake-up call before. They claim to know that we know that this is wrong. Well, then you're not taking action. This will now either enforce you to take action, and if you don't fight or get your kids back, it just, unfortunately, it's the way it turns out sometimes. You never know where the evils are, and even if it's not the adults harming the kids, that many kids in that one spot can lead to something else.
Okay,
that's true.
I hope you come back, Hafez. I hope you just dropped off because I appreciate you being here. I don't know how anyone can make a decision without all of the proof. Okay, fair. So I am proposing a hypothetical that we don't have all the answers to. I'm asking you guys to assess from what we've seen now, given that we understand that what happens in foster care can be way worse. Oh, yeah. I understand Cynthia said needing a wake-up call for the parents. But once a kid gets put into the system, we do understand that it's a nightmare to get them back sometimes, correct?
That's the truth.
Let's go back to my premise and let me get it out clearly. And Vanta, you can jump in since you came in to back me up. Do we lock the dad up and scare the mom, and that's enough, and maybe send Child Protective Services to do check-ins to shake them up, or let me finish because it seems like I have to
No,
lay this
right.
out at least 30 more times before Tootie seemed to be the only one to like actually grasp. And Cynthia, thank you. Or do we take the kids out? Fanta, answer, please. What's up, Randall?
So, hello to the panel. Hello, everybody. My point is, I'd rather, obviously, ideally, you want to raise a child in a stable home. However, I have seen nightmare fuel studies, and I actually even had a friend who came through the foster care system, and they said I wouldn't wish that on any child.
Right.
Like I think a child is better off with a single parent. I wouldn't even say single mother or single father, single parent household than foster care. Because yes, are there brutal, abusive households? Yes. So what's the option? Send them off to foster care, or how about another option? What happened to the extended family, RLM? What happened to the extended family?
They tried to do that first, dude. Believe me. Look at my case. Yeah, my daughter was taken away from me at a young age. All right, by social services, and they tried to give her to my cousin, and then they took my daughter away. They changed their mind.
This is a great point, and let me just read this really quick. Welcome, Carrie. She says, "Sadly, no matter what's done, the children will be the ones who suffer the most. 100%. Right now, the way the way the kids are reacting to the cops, at least what I see is it sounds fucked up. It's like a Shameless. I don't know for anyone who watches Shameless, whoever watched Shameless, that series is brilliant.
Totally
it was so dysfunctional, but they loved each other, right? They were down for each other. And the way I look at it is at least these kids have each other. The minute you start taking them out of the home and separating them, how much deeper does that fuck up their mental, right? And this is where I struggle with the system and how, and knowing that we know that the system is just another arm for child trafficking in this country. Like we can go into that fucking rabbit hole, right? So that's my question, and that's what I struggle with, right? And so the kid's ultimately going to see why my parents don't want me. They're not going to understand because this is all they know. This filth and this life is all they know. They don't know what's bad. They're happy as literally pigs and shit because they are pigs and shit.
No, you adapt to what you know. Yeah, it's basically adapting. You know,
madam, there were no pigs and shit until the cops entered that house.
Thank you.
Not everything's suns and roses, and nothing's correct.
I hate you.
There is
across the bow. I'm talking so close it took the nose hairs off.
I hate
my
you.
God. Yeah, what's wrong with you, Sasquatch?
There are some cases where
Really
social services were washed off
what's up,
by the
Harold?
father. There's an actual case about it. The Tourniquet killer. It's on that website I was telling you about the other day, earlier on, Unseen. But yeah, they got a case on there where there's a father who was abusing both his children. He was actually a tourniquet killer, going around killing everyone in the village. Oh no, it's a Scottish fella.
Can anybody hear me? Because
unfortunately, yes.
What's up, Hafez? I haven't seen you in a long time, my brother.
Yes. Me and Hafez are looking like goddamn terrorists. Anyway, carry on.
Okay.
You looking about as white as
If the shoe
Cynthia does.
fits.
Vanta, were you finished with your point? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
One final point. I think you made a good point, RLM. Because I grew up on Shameless, the TV show, the UK version. Yes, those family were in dire straits. They were struggling. It was a hot mess. But guess what? End of the day, they had each other. Because who else do you have left? And guess what? They want to be. They had an alcoholic father and a mother who ran away somewhere. But the kids didn't want to be in the system. They're like, you know what? We'd rather live with the alcoholic father. Even though he's shameless, hence the show. But at least they had each other. They were well united. And I had a similar situation with my family, my extended family. It's not perfect. Fighting, arguing, people getting kicked out, blah, blah, blah. But we still remain intact. So I think families need to stay together as best as possible. And not send your children to the system, because that system is demonic. Anyway, that's my point. I'm done. Thank
you. Hafez, you want to jump in on this?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Vanto. I think as much as the system, the family situation might be terrible, unless it's an out and out abusive family situation, then yeah, they're better off than being shipped to boarding houses and then foster care and yeah, the whole thing. I mean, most of the issues that we had in Britain from grooming gangs were these people were targeting. Yeah, they were targeting kids in foster care and in social services. So, yeah, I think putting children into that environment at the moment, at least certainly in Britain, is worse than having them live in a subpar conditions. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, there was another case recently. Two homosexual men abused in very, very graphic and horrific ways a 2-year-old until that 2-year-old was unalived. That was a recent case in Britain. I don't know if you guys heard about that. That is a horrific situation. You didn't hear? No. Look it up. Two gay guys over a period of I don't know how long they sexually and physically abused a 2-year-old until it was disgusting. No longer with us. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, number of years. And I come up because this is a touchy issue.
Can't even hear the
doing
guy.
That thing again, brother, where it comes in super hot at the beginning and then trails out and you almost
because he moves away from his microphone. Stop moving away from your microphone so we can all hear you properly.
So my big issue here is
it says noise gate.
None of these.
He's got that auto shit kicked on. You need to switch that off. RLM, you can switch that off in his settings.
Okay.
No, it's not on automatic. It is on.
Just let the man speak. Go ahead. Go ahead, Wizard.
Yeah, go on. He's pretty good usually.
So from firsthand experience, I got to tell you, this foster care is not needed whatsoever. It's propaganda to take your children.
Yep.
Okay, let me help you understand. A traditional family is a large family. Now, that large family I'm speaking about, my dad had 13 brothers and sisters. My mom had 7 brothers and sisters. With that many family members, why the fuck would any child go into any foster care system? That family should be holding together, but it's the foundational family that's faltering that allows this government to do what it's doing.
Yep. Agreed.
Well, I wish that was true, dude. But on my side of my family, none of my family gave a flying fuck.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, my family were like 9 or 7, 9 to 10 people in my mum's side of the family. None of them gave a shit, let alone I wouldn't want my daughter going to my uncle because he was a fucking nonce.
So you actually agree with me?
Yes.
Okay.
I trust that you guys are adults. You can have an open discussion. Just don't talk over each other. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So for is that El Perro? Is that you? I'm sorry. Is that?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, it's El Perro. Yes. Whenever, because me and my father, we used to lock heads. Like, he would come home kind of drunk and act a fool, and then he I wouldn't say abusive, but he'll just clown me for no reason because he was off his head, right? And then I'll I'll tell my mother, I'm like, either me or him. But then she'd be like, but he's your father. All right, cool. So you know what I used to do? I used to go to my auntie's house and go chill out there for the weekend or a week or something, just to give a little breather.
Be right back.
I think that's what's missing in the current climate of family. I always say, people, the right wing say, "Oh, where's the nuclear family? The nuclear family." I'm like, what happened to the extended family? Where's the extended?
Bingo. Exactly.
And that's the point. Sometimes the nuclear can be abusive, and you need something like an auntie, uncle, grandmother, grandfather, cousin.
Where do you think we get our? It takes a village to raise a child. What do you?
Thank you very much.
The village is an extension of a family first, not a government.
Yep, correct. So yeah, I think that's what's lacking today. where a lot, like you said, like because my grandfather had 16 children with one woman. My grandmother, my grandfather, 16 between them two, and that 16 end up being in an army with their children. Me, my siblings, we are an army, and we rely on each other financially, morally, emotionally, whatever. If somebody fights each other, they go to the other family to recover. I think that's what's missing today. But anyway, that's me done.
Amen.
Well, that's the
Okay.
problem, isn't it?
Well said.
Families have generally shrunken over the years. People are having less and less and less children. So therefore, you're not getting this big army of family anymore. Once these, the older generations have died off that had all the families that are all spraddled out, and nope, a lot of them didn't even have kids or whatnot, so what can be done about that? People just don't want to.
Okay, Cynthia, take care.
Be blessed.
Bye, Cynthia. Thank you.
Bye. Well, the thing is, I think there's been a lot of different things that have conspired to create this environment where people are having less and less kids, financially, emotional support, all of the other sort of support systems. Because I think now, whether this is purposeful or just accidental, the government feels, especially these sort of socialist type governments we have in Europe, they want to essentially replace your family with them. They want you to be dependent on them, because the more you're dependent on them, the more you're likely to vote for them. So maybe it's accidental, maybe this is on purpose, but it is a system in which it has created an incentive for those in power to make sure you have less family support and more dependent upon the government, and see the government as your parents or as your support system, because the government then benefits from that, because you would then inadvertently vote to have bigger and bigger government, to have an ever expanding government, to be more dependent on the government, to see the government as your surrogate parents, especially single mothers who essentially have replaced the husband with the government.
Bingo.
So I guess all of this is kind of tied together. Now, I don't know, as I say, I'm not one for, some shadowy figures a cabal of people who meet in some basement somewhere where they decide all this, or whether this is just simply an incentive program where the government is incentivized to disenfranchise you from your family, so that you rely on the government more, so that you vote for those particular government and a bigger and bigger government. Maybe it's just an
vicious
incentive
circle
process.
jerk. Yeah,
And to finalize, put the icing, the cherry on top, what Hafez said. Hence why the UK is considered a nanny state. Yeah, the state has become the nanny. You're right, Hafez.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, this is the lack of responsibility by the parents. The parents that are willing to give up the responsibility of oversight of their own children and hand them over to the government, who has such a great oversight program, right?
So the question is, it still remains when we go back to this scenario, right? The long-term implications of growing up in this kind of filth could be pretty severe, right? Because every child is different. So even though they seem pretty happy, adjusted, they have each other. It's the shameless family, let's say. And again, we're going by what we just saw because we don't know any deeper, right? The video ended. Ultimately, I want to ask every single person on the panel, would you have agreed to take the children out of this home or leave them in it?
Could I answer real quick?
Yeah, one at a time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be quick. I think you brought up a good point. Putrid conditions, and that's a thing that people overlook.
I mean, that affects you psychologically. Living in your own filth. I mean, animals don't even do that. Yeah.
Right, and not only that, but every child have a different genetic makeup. Medically wise, maybe some kids are more, their immune system can handle it, but some kids, their immune system is messed up, and they can't handle it. So you're right. We have to consider the conditions, the environment, and the living standards. But in my opinion, I still think foster care should be the last resort. But I do see the point where maybe it could be good for them to get taken out from that situation. So yeah, that's my point. I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in?
I'm still curious as to what she actually saw up there that made her just be like, no. Where
I think she said it. I think she said the diapers
she saw
on the
something
floor.
up there in that room.
Yeah,
you know,
I think maybe probably dead, deceased kittens, probably. But she did mention the diapers, the dirty diapers on the floor. I mean, not enough. God knows, for me.
But still, I mean, that's not enough to really
Chatter King?
make you go that spastic. She was just like.
But was this? You said there was a man that. Oh, sorry. You said there was the man that was taking care of the children full time. So the mother was out working full time, and the guy was full time at home.
It was all an assumption, and we were kind of I was joking it off in the beginning, right? But I broke it down piece by piece because when the cops showed up, it's obviously midday. The man is at home with all the kids, and he's on the phone calling his wife. So I just, assumed that she was the one at work. And so I I proposed the whole thought experiment, like so much for men doing a better job, right? Of raising children. Single dads raising children. Because in this situation, dad's at home being, stay-at-home dad, mom, if we go by my assumption, she's working, and this doesn't seem to be any better. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, but they're both careless. I mean, you got dirty diapers on the floor. I'm sure she comes home and she sees those and whatever, if there was some dead cat or something.
Of course.
I actually I don't think it was dead cat. I think it was probably feces, probably on the floor somewhere. Most likely.
You saw the state of what she looked like, too.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
She didn't exactly look all that clean. I mean,
and to be honest, Tutti Frutti, I feel bad for her back. Those giant jugs. I'm like,
she had
feel bad for me. Trust me, feel bad for me. Mine weigh 8 pounds each. I've actually weighed them.
God damn.
You carry 16 pounds just on your chest.
Just on my chest.
Oh, it's a fucking bowling ball.
Just sitting up and sitting down and getting up for you is just like an exercise, like a gym routine.
No, I feel she definitely grunts. Like, when she gets up, she goes, yeah. She definitely grunts when she gets up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm joking.
So yeah,
I hope she doesn't run.
And my whole thing is that like adults that here's like the unfortunate thing about it. If these adults can live in this filth, then these adults are used to this. So like, right? Like how far does this neglect go? Because he's in the home. There was multiple adults in the home with these 13 kids. So you've got a bunch of grown-ass people co-signing to this filth.
I mean, Aurelem, to be fair, are they adults or are they just overgrown children? To quote,
do we know that social services were called in the past?
Oh.
There you go.
That's a good question.
What was that, Craig? I missed that.
I said, do we know that social services were called in the past?
No, I mean we can take a bunch of hypotheticals and assume because all we know is what we saw in this video. That's it. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because there's a case as I was saying about the Tourniquet killer because he had all the charm and shit like that. Social services were called on numerous occasions and they were all turned away and case closed, even though it appeared that all the windows and doors were nailed shut. There was no water, there was no electric. The girls were sexually abused, and they were what was that called? What's the word? When they're not eating properly, not bathed properly, or anything like that. Thank you. But yeah, and social services didn't see anything wrong with it, and they just turned around and closed the book. Yeah,
well, we all know that. So, I mean, social services to me is just another arm of a child trafficking ring. I'm gonna be quite honest.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
Thank you. Somebody said it. Somebody said it. Finally. Thank you, Aaron.
Most of the people,
well done.
I've been saying it all along.
Most of the people.
But what about the kids who don't that don't have?
Hold on. Adolf's trying to talk.
most of the people that work in family services are working not under qualifications, but because of a cronyism and favoritism and emotions.
Exactly.
Oh, we really care for the children. No, you don't. If you cared for your children, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, you talked about the big families and everything should be the ones doing it. Okay. And we discussed that has deteriorated over the years. Families getting smaller, smaller. So what happens? What about these kids that need to be rescued and they don't have anybody? What do we do? Do you
Right.
have any
Well, that's the
suggestions for
fine
that?
line.
Besides
That,
the-
I mean,
the
that's
system?
the fine line.
But see,
Exactly.
that's
That's
where
the conundrum.
but that's where I'm saying there's a disconnect. People are saying they don't have anybody. And what I'm saying is the people that they do have are not standing up and taking that responsibility. They've already given it up on their own children. Why would they now, in their older years, step up and take that responsibility that they gave up earlier? They're not going to do it. It's there. They're just not taking the responsibility.
Yep.
Totally
No,
agree.
Perez right.
In
100%.
social services, how they work is they're supposed to. The first thing they're supposed to do is try and hand the child off to next of kin. In other words, next family member.
Yes.
Last resort would be foster care. That would be last resort. But they skip the first routine and go straight to foster care.
So I'm gonna bring up a quick clip on some. Go ahead, Hafez.
I just, I don't want to sound like, cruel or anything or Hitler-esque, but
Speak from the heart, Hafez. Speak from the heart.
acquired euthanasia. I mean, we have about 8 billion human beings. Do we really need another 5 or 6 kids?
God damn.
I think Adolf said he would.
Make eugenesis great again.
Oh my god!
Make euthanasia acceptable again.
I would love to have another
Make it
child.
cheap. Make it cheap. Why not?
It's like Sass said
I was
earlier.
joking.
We've self-corrected through the Planned Parenthood, haven't we?
Are you joking though?
I would love to have another child, but my wife and
Am I?
So
I'm joking.
This is a quick clip that I found, and I want your guys' thoughts on this.
Go for it.
I've shown this a couple of times. I'm going to show it again for people who are new here. By the way, shout out to everyone who's here with me. There's 20 of you in the room. Thank you for being here. There's a lot of other places you could be, but you choose to be here with me and these band of misfits. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Fair use, fair use. This is by a channel called Chuck Swindle, and this is called Khazarian Mafia. So I'm gonna go.
Oh my God, Khazarian Mafia.
The rat lines are and where they go. What is a rat line?
Fair use, fair use.
It's a trafficking line.
What is it? A rat?
Rat.
This one actually splits. A rat line. Up the East Coast and up the Hudson River. There's actually 5 main trafficking lines. This one kind of goes mainly actually from Louisiana, Alabama. So Florida's like that. Right in here, there's another one that goes up. There's 5 trafficking lines in the United States, rat lines. What if I was to tell you something like this? I wasn't going to do this till Sunday. But what if I was to tell you that there is an attorney who has an office in Poughkeepsie, New York, and an office in Bellevue, Washington. Same attorney. And he's partnered with an attorney out of Bellevue and an attorney out of here.
How does that work?
And what if I told you that out of this office, he created over 100 corporations to traffic children? I'm talking about entertainment companies that take pictures, lodging companies, short and long distance trucking companies, even an airline that's stationed at Boeing Field. offering companies, you have to have all elements of trafficking. So you have to have transportation, logistics, offerings. Okay. 5x5 entertainment, Wild Child Entertainment. Corporations like that, he set up. What if I told you he set them up under mostly aliases names, but we have the real names too? What if I told you he set them up for people who are police officers, county commissioners, and judges?
I'd believe it.
Okay.
I read Franklin Cover Up.
Now, what if I told you the same attorney in the state of New York owns 17 child protective services agencies in the state of New York? And he also owns 17 family courts. He owns the Spafford Center, which traffics children to Jerusalem and the United Kingdom.
Yes, BD. BD.
Excuse me, can you hold on? Can you rewind it back a little bit, please, RLM?
Two American boys which traffics children to New York. And he also owns 17 family courts. He owns the Spafford Center, which traffics children to Jerusalem and the United Kingdom.
What the fuck?
What if I told you I had pictures of two American boys with a Hezbollah boy over in Jerusalem carrying AK-47s, and one's 7 and one's 11, and I know where family they came from here in America.
Holy crap.
Rest in peace, David.
What if I told you in
Rest in
1983 he bought a company from William Casey's law firm? The DOD guy is going to start scribbling here when I mention names. I'm serious. William Casey. Who was William Casey? He was the head of the OSS before it became the CIA. He was our first CIA director, and then he ran the SEC.
Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yes. And helped.
They're stacked deep.
Helped set up our whole birth certificate fraud thing. He also started the Spafford Center under a different name back in the 30s. And he died in 1975. And in 1983, this attorney bought it from Casey's law firm. It's a corporation sole. Does anybody know what a corporation sole is? It's a corporation that started so old that is grandfathered into under all laws. It's a powerful corporation. A corporation sole. It was owned by William Casey.
Wasn't Casey murdered? Or no?
I wish he was. Anyway, and he can take children out of New York City or any other county that he has one of his 17 agencies. He can show up at your house with a cop, kick in your door, his CPS agents take a kid, jump you through a bunch of parental hoops, terminate your parental rights through his own judges and his own guardian ad litems and his own, and he's licensed by the state to do business. He's protected under the commerce laws.
Can you send me
He's
this?
sanctioned by the state. When you run his name of his family services companies on Google, they come up higher than the actual state of New York's family services.
Can you send me this, Ryan?
So if you're going to turn somebody into CPS and you Google it, good chance you're turning into a guy who set up hundreds of pedophile companies.
Because they do protect each other.
Now, what do you think about that?
What I want you to notice is look
It's
at the
fucking
age of
sick.
people.
Well,
Can you send me that, please, RLM?
yeah.
Thank you.
So I asked that question again. Do you call Child Protective Services?
I see. Exactly.
I never trusted them. I never called them in my life, apart from when I was younger, when I was trying to get out of the situation I was in with my family, and they didn't do fuck all then.
Craig, a lot of these so-called foster care homes are. RLM, correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they called shell companies? Basically, a mask to do some diabolical stuff behind the scenes for tax purposes. For tax purposes.
Shell companies, not Shaw. Shell.
Shell.
I said shell. Écoutez, s'il vous plaît.
It sounded like
Now
Shaw.
you got me speaking French. Écoutez, s'il vous plaît.
I'll be right back, guys. Keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chitty.
Okay, I will. Okay. Tutti frutti. I've been knowing about this for the longest time, but people laughed at me. That Vance, you're crazy. Yo, right.
I didn't know about the shell ship, but I know the social services were corrupt, and I know that they lied a lot.
Basically, Craig, basically, it's a company, because obviously you have to file it as a business tax, whereas a shell, a mosque. However, behind the scenes, that's where the nonsense happens. That's where the trafficking happens. It happens in the UK, and I'm glad RLM pulled up the video, because that's definitely happening in America right now. Like New York and Washington, a lawyer. Come on, man. What is a lawyer?
Dude,
what's a lawyer known for? A lawyer is known for not to know the law, but how to manipulate the law. That's the whole point of a lawyer.
Okay, Para,
I'm sorry. I'm done.
Isn't the child care social services system isn't it actually a private organization, just like the prison system is? It's not not an actual government entity.
Yep. Thank you.
It's privatized.
Yeah.
So therefore, it is monetized.
Yes.
And I want you guys to understand, Social Security, just like taxes, that's voluntary, and they impose it upon you as though it's mandatory. It is not mandatory, except for federal government workers and contractors contracting directly with the federal government. If you are not in that capacity, then Social Security is voluntary. It is a military insurance.
Right. Insurance. Okay, yeah, there you go. Thank you. See?
And rest his soul. Rest his soul. I worked with David Straight, the man in that video, a lot in the last 10 years. Very profound man. And I wish people would have listened to him a long time ago, because he was telling the truth then, just like we're finding out now. It's all fucking a modern ball system for sacrificing your children.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When I saw that, I nearly I stood cold, because I'm like, God damn, the arm reaches so far and so deep that even if you're doing something that you think is the right thing by taking a child, let's bring it back to the video we watched, out of a situation that normally you would say, well, you're doing a good thing, right? This child is in squalor. This is not healthy. This is filth. The long-term implications mentally that can happen to these children. You got down all those thought holes, but then you think what the opposite what the opposite could be. I'd rather them thug it out together. I'd rather them, just bang it out together and give them at least that chance, because at the very least, what I saw immediately was something different than Tootie saw, which I respect her perspective, but I at least saw children who had some kind of modicum of like normalcy as far as being children. They were happy. Right. There was, so it's a hard call to make. And it's like, do you even get involved? That's the problem. That's where my nihilism seeps in, because
it's painful.
It's horrible. And kids for me is like a deal breaker. It really is a deal breaker.
Yeah, I put it out there to all my neighbors. Hey, listen, I might wear this short mustache and look like an old crony or something, but I really do care. If you guys are having problems with your children or marital issues, please do not call the police. At least come over and knock on my door and ask them some advice from a common man that's been there, done that. These people you're searching for to take care of your children, they come from silver spoon-fed families that haven't been through shit.
Could I share one story real quick, RLM?
That's a great thing that you do. Really become more of a community. Like, so if these people don't have extended families, they don't have a community within their family, be the community that they don't have. Right. Be that that's important. I think that's something that's missing with us too. Like, not until I moved to Florida, where neighbors were actually like, because even growing up in Long Island, they gave us a hard time because we were the first Hispanic family in the neighborhood, and they, were racist as fuck. But they there was a community. But when but you live in like big cities, I didn't even know my neighbors that lived next door to me. Like, you can go like forever not knowing who's living right next door to you in like a building.
Right.
And then coming, to Florida and being more like in like suburban areas where people do knock on your door, say, "I'm your next door neighbor, nice to meet you," whatever. But I
They
think that's
actually
like
bring
super
you an
important.
apple pie or a
they
casserole.
welcome to the neighborhood,
I don't do that sort of thing. My neighbors can go to hell, even when they're new neighbors. I just tell them. I literally don't.
Neighbors.
And it might be about
Everybody needs good neighbors.
Neighbors. Oh my God, you used to watch that too, T? I used to watch Neighbors.
Let Perro go. Let Perro go.
I'm sorry.
It might be bad timing, but I got a little joke that kind of goes along with this.
No, please lighten up the
And
mood.
and understand this comes from my mother, who worked at Social Security Administration for 29 years. And there's this lady that's moving into this house. She pulls up in the moving truck. She starts unloading. The lady next door steps out the door and yells, "Johnny, breakfast!" And 5 little boys come running to the front door, go inside and eat breakfast. They go back out and play when they're done. She's still unloading the thing, and lunchtime comes around. The lady comes out. "Johnny!" The 5 little boys come running to the home. It's lunchtime. Same thing at dinner time. "Johnny!" 5 little boys come around. She's over there unloading. She finally gets done. She goes over to introduce herself to the neighbor and says, "Hey, I noticed you got 5 lovely little boys. You named them all Johnny." She says, "Why would you do that?" She says, "Well, it makes it easier when I want to call them for dinner and stuff." She says, well, what do you want? What do you do when you only want one of them?" "Well, heck, then I just call them by their last name."
I've heard that one. That one is actually quite funny because they're all different daddies.
That clip late for me. That's funny. Oh my God.
That is your extended family today. That's the disruption of the extended family, and that's what the reality of today.
And that's the thing. So when I hear like Craig, love you. I'm gonna use you as an example, just because you're always talking about it, so you're not afraid to talk about it.
I don't care. Go for it.
Like when people judge you and say that, as angry as you are about the state of your country as far as the infiltration of immigrants, i.e. like the Muslims, have you failed your community? Have you, as a man, as an individual, allowed for the degradation to get this far? Have we as people, I'm going to take it off of you. Have we as people, because yes, we talk about the importance of the starting in the family, the base and the foundation of the family in your own home, you as an individual, right? It starts there. Have we failed each other? Have we failed the kids?
Absolutely.
Yes, we did.
This is the thing. If it takes a village to raise a child, and we know that in our hearts, then why are we not doing that as adults? Like I said, I go to my neighbors and I tell them, please do not call the police. Please accept me as a friend and a possible family member that's willing to institute that family situation where we don't have to depend on government services, but we depend on our neighbor who we love as ourselves. Where does that concept disappear in a Christian society?
Yeah, you don't have my neighbors.
I would say what Christians.
I understand that. I understand that, Fez, because that's the same.
I would say what Christian society in the UK, there ain't none left.
Exactly, it's disappearing.
Right, he's talking about back in the day where, even me. Like, if I may, I'm gonna share a story with El Perro.
Yeah.
In the 90s, because my family, my extended family were here since the 60s, because they served under the British Empire and all that blah blah. But by the time me and my immediate family came to the UK, my extended family already had things set up. However, I remember the one time I went to my grandmother's house and her neighbor was Irish. I remember John and Esther. I remember them. R.I.P. They passed away. But I remember one time they're like, "Oh, in the Irish language, oh, are you related to your, is that your grandmother?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, like, you have to collect the garbage by Sunday night and put it out in the on the pavement, so the garbage collectors collect on Monday. Like that was the neighbors. Neighbors would pull up and friendly advice. I'm like, who is this racist old Irish woman? And my grandma was like, oh, no. That is Esther. She always does that every Sunday. Like, just being concerned neighbor. Like, yeah, Mondays, cleanup day, put your shit outside, blah, blah, blah. And she used to hook us up with some good, gardeners. Like, do you need somebody to help out with your garden, lawn mowing, blah, blah. She would call her Irish nephews to do all the lawn mowing and chop up the bushes and all that. That was neighbors back in the day.
Yeah, I got a neighbor
back in the day.
Yeah, I got a neighbor that got a brand new riding lawnmower, and he come over and mowed my lawn just to check it out.
Yep.
Awesome.
And also, El Paro.
Yeah, you see, I got a neighbor. Well, actually, I used to have a neighbor. I moved, but I had a neighbor who was cooking meth. And he brought his bong round so we could try it out.
No,
that's the difference between where you live and where I live.
I don't
like that.
I don't know about
you
that.
You can't just move on like that. You can't just move on like that. Say that again.
The place I'm living in was just recently busted for all kinds of shit. They had shit up in the attic. They fucking tore this house apart. They had to remodel the house before we could move in.
No,
it's all subjective. I think one would say a meth cooking neighbor is an asset. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, bit of extra cash if you're on that sort of thing. You can have a bit of
these house chores. Fuck.
All I'm saying is that we don't all have the same neighbors. we have neighbors with different priorities.
Right.
But look, the fact is we don't unfortunately all live in environments. I mean, this was back when I was younger, when I was at uni and all that. So I had no money, so I had to live in like a bad part of town. But the fact is that, this picket fence crap and like 2.4 children and hello Bob, good morning John. this
good night John boy.
Yeah, well, I mean this what's it called, Truman Show shit doesn't apply to everyone.
Don't shit on my rainbow, Hafez. No, I know. I was thinking in the back of my head when I lived in certain like suspect neighborhoods in New York, when after like I graduated and I was on my own, I was like, a motherfucker come knocking on my door and say, don't call the cops if something happened. I'm gonna call the cops on them. I'm be like, what are you up to?
I was like, hey cops, some fool just came and said don't call the cops.
Right.
I'm
I want to check on 2F because they told me not to call the cops. So there's something going on.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever lived in a place where you had to keep a bat or a piece of hard stick. I mean, I usually had like Eskrima sticks because they're quite solid. They're like bamboo. Yeah, I had to keep one next to the door in case some drunken motherfucker just falls. I had someone who passed out in front of my door. Just passed unconscious.
Yep, we've had that in this building.
There's something in my purse that I have that will.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in America, so you guys have that. But what I mean is
something personal for a woman's use.
I ain't got no picket fences.
No.
I ain't got no driving lawnmowers.
A purse pistol.
Yeah.
I'm playing. I was playing.
380.
I was playing.
Yes, I always have my 380
We call it the
with me.
goddamn it, Tutti. We call it the goddamn.
Yeah, but I have to sleep literally every single night. I have to sleep with a knife underneath my pillow, especially because of these fucking immigrants.
I just kept a very, very solid stick at the side of the door. Someone knocked on the door. I answer with a stick.
Dude, it's not the front door. It's my back door. My back door is actually in my bedroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're gonna
And
smash your
literally
back doors in.
No, we keep the AR by the door.
No joke. It literally take you 5 seconds to open it with a crowbar, and it's literally 2 feet from my bed.
Yeah,
my head.
But yeah, but what I mean is, it all depends on like. I mean, I'm talking back in the day. I'm luckily I'm not in that situation. But the fact is that this thing about relying on your neighbors, you can't.
No,
if you
Hafez,
if you lived in cities.
I'm gonna call bullshit on you, Hafez, because Tottenham, right? You're in London. You know Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham's rough. I grew up in Tottenham in late 90s, early 2000s. I remember when the event happened in New York, September. You know the event. When that event happened, my mom was at work, my father's at work, and I came back from school, and I didn't have my door keys, so I had to stay with my neighbor. And my neighbor was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for mom and dad to come back. I don't have the keys. All right, cool, stay in. And then me and my neighbor, I remember we watched that event happen, and we just basically, and he said, you know what's happening? I'm like, what's happening? He's like, yeah, some Islamic blah 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 blah. And ever since then, I don't know, there was some kind of communal spirit where I felt comfortable going to my neighbors anytime when my parents were not about. My neighbors was always there as a backup. So I don't know about you, Hafez, but I love my neighbors. I love my neighbors. Even though I lived in Tottenham, one of the worst areas in London, but I still had great neighbors.
Welcome back, Ben.
Look, the thing is, there are certain weird situations, like people in the hood, in this. You guys, I want to relate it to like Americans, like the projects. If you live in the project, you're born in the projects, you kind of have a community of degenerates essentially, and you become friends with develop a family of degenerates. So yeah, there is that possibility of a communal sort of, people are all in the same crap, so they kind of get along, and they go and rob other people down the street, not their own community, their own neighbors, because they don't want to rob the people in their own area, so they go and rob someone else. But what I'm saying is that can happen, like yours with Tottenham, but most of the time, I'll be honest with you, I was cursed. I was born and raised in middle-class environments with a middle-class mentality, but became poor and had to live with poor people. And I despise poor people, and I look down upon them quite often, and I don't want to mingle with them. I find them to be...
I have the same
I find them to be beneath me.
I have the same experience, Hafez. I went from living in like I went from living with like what you would call a silver spoon to then being on my own and having to be around poor people. And I never ever want to go back.
And you'd hate me then.
Yeah, I was born poor. I'm not
joking.
poor now.
What's up?
I ain't going back, y'all. No,
I was born poor and I still am now.
Now I look down at people and I'm like, look, people can get out of this shit. They just gotta want to.
Oh, 100%.
Exactly. Be hungry to come.
But I will say he is right. There is a certain unity even in like the projects, right? Like they don't necessarily care enough to take care of their own surroundings, right? So there's piss in the fucking staircases. There's, you got to cuckoo because the fucking machine to buzz doesn't work. There's like the whole element of like just disgustingness. But for the most part, they do. People in the hood do try to take care of each other in that little ecosystem within the hood. Now you step out in the hood, it's just fucking welcome to the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Like
we got fun.
Yeah. Can I run to my neighbor? Would I be able to run to my neighbor in like Bushwick, Brooklyn back in the day? Well, I wasn't there, but like I lived in Elizabeth, New Jersey for a bit, which is like New Jersey Drive. It's like the movie was based on like that horrible neighborhood that I had lived in for a little bit. And I mean you stepped outside, it's you better be stacked.
Can I make one joke real quick sure. If I may? Because you guys know about this GTA, GTA, the video game GTA 6 is gonna have a first Latina lead in Miami. And every time I see her, she reminds me of you, RLM. I can't lie.
I'll be right back, All right, I'm gonna make
all right,
coffee.
where are my royalties? Irby, I would say I wasn't around a suburban neighborhood in Staten Island long enough to know. I think the difference is I think the suburbs are going to be the same no matter where you go. I just think that the kids that grew up in the suburbs in Staten Island they were closer proximity to the city, so they had a little bit more edge to them. Whereas in Long Island, you might as well have grown up in like a suburb in Ohio. There's kids that grew up in Long Island where I grew up that never even went to the city. So that's the difference. Like in Staten Island, you're like a hop skipping away from the city. Where I grew up in Farmingdale, Long Island, it was about an hour and a half away.
Isn't that where Opie and Anthony are from? The radio shock jocks, Long Island.
Who?
Or tripping. Opie and Anthony.
I'm not sure.
Back in the day, like they were alongside Howard Stern in Sirius FM, whatever you call it.
Well, Howard Stern lived in Long Island. He had his mansion was in Long Island. So like everyone, when you made it, you bought a house in Long Island. You left the boroughs, and you know, Long Island's where the Hamptons is. Like that, when you made it, that's where you moved out to.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm like, yeah, this sounds very familiar. But yeah, going back to the point of the neighbors and stuff, and Hafez, no, I did not live in the goddamn projects. My house was a semi-detached, regular house. I did not live in a goddamn flat like all those bums in London. I had a proper house. But yeah, I still appreciate my neighbors in Tottenham.
No, look, I mean, you guys were probably living, you know, either mixed or even in a council, probably property or mixed council and private property neighborhood.
It was social housing, Hafez. It was social housing, but
there you go. So council property. Well, the thing is what you got to realize, Vanta, I came from Iran. And we had swimming pools in our houses. My cousins, where I spent most of my childhood, had 2 swimming pools, and jacuzzis and saunas and cinema rooms and shit like that. I came from that to semi-detached housing in Britain. Believe me, it is a downgrade on every measure.
Me too. My apartment in the UAE, Abu Dhabi, I had a gym with swimming pool on the rooftop. I lived on the first floor, but floor 18.
There you go.
Because my father used to work in an oil rig, in a gas company in UAE, and he had a bunch of benefits, dental, health, blah blah. But my favorite benefit was free gymming nonstop.
You see, my problem is, as I said, I became a snooty middle class without the finances of a snooty middle class, and I despised it. I despised it the whole time. I resented my station in life. Now, thank goodness. I mean, admittedly, I have to admit, I still don't have a house with a swimming pool in this country, but that's kind of harder to come by in Britain.
But you act like
be like a multi-millionaire, right?
But unfortunately, once you're, you know, the thing is, like they say, once you've driven a Ferrari, you just can't go back to a Skoda.
No,
it just isn't the same again. A Ford is not the same.
Give a little quick anecdotal story, and it's not. I mean, it's racist, but it really isn't. But hey, you guys know my parents are racist as fuck. I come from Archie Bunker family. What's up, Steven? It looks like you're new here. And Lynn, looks like you're new here. So welcome, guys.
She's new. She's on my channel right now, hon.
Oh, okay, nice. Welcome. And just a little quick housekeeping. I will be ending the show. Shout out to Ryan Bardwell for dropping a $50 dono earlier on. I'm going to pull this back up, but since the donos have since slowed down, if you guys want to extend the show, you know what to do. If not, we're going to end it, and we're going to leave it on a high note, because you guys, my time is money, and you guys know that I am here full time trying to make that money, honey. So you know what to do. You can Cash App, PayPal, Ko-fi. You can buy me buy coffee, or you can super chat memberships. There's always a way to show your love. So I've only ever lived in, my parents moved us from Queens, which was I was like not even 5 yet. They owned a furniture business, multiple businesses. So I moved down up like the Jeffersons to Long Island. We were the first Latino family in the neighborhood. So we were the brownest people in the hood, and that never changed, right? So the demographics in my neighborhood was Italian, Irish, and Jewish, and top 10 school in the country, public school in the country. You know, just really, really good upper middle class neighborhood. And so, but what I've noticed as time has gone by, I've lived in apartment buildings, and it's always been the same kind of demographic, right? And so now in Central Florida, where we are, it's good. You're starting to see a little bit more integration. You're starting to see a little bit different, shades of people, let's say, right? And so where I'm at is a gated golfers community, right? So I'm on a golfing and lake, and it's a gated community. It's pretty nice area.
You're a posh bitch then.
I'm not posh.
Yes.
I just come I come from really good stock. I come from really good stock who gave a fuck about what happened where I lived in my life, and I'm blessed. Let's put it that way.
It's okay, Arlem. It's okay. It's okay.
Because if I'm going to tell you that my father came from Cuba with nothing at 11 years old, okay, left because they had to leave everything behind. He didn't come over on a Mariel. He was allowed to leave. It was before Castro shut the country down. He left with his family, and they worked their fucking asses off. A little immigrant boy became the salutatorian of his class, graduated. The number 2 in his class got full ride scholarship to every Ivy League in America. Pre-med, went to Columbia, free. Okay, so my father fucking worked his ass off in this country to be who he is. So no one can tell me shit about anything about being a bum and fucking living in the backwoods of where Freddie and Jason fucking cut people up. Get the fuck out of here. If a man who came from Cuba gets where he got, then I don't want to hear shit from anywhere else. So I'm blessed.
Right.
So I digress. We guys, if you know, you know. If you fucking know, you know, toots, right? Backwoods.
Yes,
So anyway,
that was a diabolical sound effect. Just saying.
bro, like that's why no one could tell me nothing. No one could tell me nothing because this man is like, yo, that's why I love men so much, because I've seen what my father has done for my fucking family. Bro.
Right.
Came from nothing. Anyway, so I'm leaving my house and I'm driving down and all of a sudden my mom goes, "Ben, did you see? There's black people moving in."
Not the El Negro. Oh no.
Like 3 houses down.
No. There goes the neighborhood.
And I was like, yeah, mom, okay. And but she's like,
and Craig,
and
Negro
goes,
is not a
are you
racist
sure
term.
those are
It
the
means
people that
black.
are not doing the work on the house? She goes, are you sure that they're
Call them
my
monkeys.
mom, no, it's parents and kids. They're moving in. She goes, oh, but they look like they're like African, right? They don't look like they're African.
Why are you whispering?
And I was like, because this is how she's telling me in the car, like as if someone can hear her say this shit. What's up, Imperious? Welcome.
Big up, Imp.
And then I says, Mom, the medium like house price here is like 6, you're looking at 6-7. So if they're moving in next 2 houses down, they gotta be doing okay. That's right. Because you know what? I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm gonna bring a pie or something. It was just so funny to me, bro. I was like,
who are you?
how things have changed, right? Like we were the ones that were the first brown people in our neighborhood. They wrote "Go Home Spicks" on my property, and they threw garbage in my backyard. This is what I remember as a little kid. And now here we are, worried about the brown people moving in next door. I just thought that was a funny fucking.
The entire U.S. fucking housing market is based off getting away from black people. What are you talking about?
Here we go.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
Here we go.
Just because he ain't right doesn't mean he ain't wrong.
I'm not wrong. There's like you can go, dude. There's literal. You can take the data and show that every wave of where houses go up and go down are directly correlative to where black people go.
He's not lying.
Like it's not that hard.
I can back it up because my family, where they live anywhere near Africans or other non-white people, they're like, I want to sell my house and go to the countryside because living around non-whites is kind of unpleasant. I can't lie.
And what is it? What is it? Because I've been to both ghetto project, communities in New York, whatever. I've been there, but then I've also been in really white, trashy neighborhoods, and I don't know what feels more eerie to me.
I think
they both have a certain.
Trash. Yeah, but even like trailer parks, the people there pick up trash. They're not out at like 1 a.m. fucking shooting each other, doing crack in the street. Like this is what I'm saying. Like
they keep it inside.
Yeah, they keep it exactly. If they're doing their meth, they're gonna blow themselves up, not blow other people up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the issue. Like black people have a problem with putting everybody else as the victim of their stupidity. Like they do, and they affect everyone around them. That's the issue.
And I remember. Are you done?
And you were talking about like intelligence. Well, like, I mean, this isn't hard. Like the more intelligent you become, the more you despise the average person.
That's true.
Newton was. Shut up, Vanta.
I'm sorry.
Newton was. Oh my God.
Let him finish, Vanta.
He can't. He's autistic. Newton was devoutly isolatory. He hated human beings. He said women are a disease.
But that wasn't because of his intellect. I think you're misplacing.
Yeah, it was.
Intellect. I don't think
No,
so.
it was because of his intellect.
Oh, that
He
would be a
saw
matter of
people as a
opinion.
waste.
That would be a matter of opinion.
That's in his actual books. He talks about it. He died a virgin.
Nobody
He
cares.
died a virgin, bro.
Nikola Tesla died.
Yeah,
a
he
virgin.
do.
Yes, we know. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but
We know.
Nikola Tesla is like 1/100th of what Newton is. There's a difference. If you're gonna like, see, this is the thing. Like, people like don't take into account like he's the most intelligent human being to ever have existed. At 24 years old. At 24 years old, he discovered the laws of optics, bro. It's not just they just have things to say. Like you don't. No, it's not just high IQ. Like you have to have abstract thought too. High IQ doesn't mean you have abstract thought. Like this is what I'm trying to say. Like there's so like this is what I mean. Where I get so like I am pro. I am pro genocide. I am pro all like eugenics because this is the thing. I believe that if people say something and they're wrong, they should die. We need to get rid of stupid people. Don't make a statement if you don't know you're right. Like that's pretty much the law that I would have universally, and stupid people would be off because they would go, no, like I swear I saw this. Oh, well, you didn't. Boom, 9mm to the back of the head. This is what I'm saying. Like you guys actually have like. You guys aren't really intelligent. You're not really that rich because you don't despise human beings like I do. Like I genuinely despise the human race. Like
you don't know what's in my head.
Is that why elites can do what they do? Because they're so disgusted by the human race?
Yes, because we don't see you as human beings.
What's up,
yes, you're dogs, and dogs need to be kept under control. Dogs need to be kept under control.
Does that mean we have to keep you under control? Do we have to keep you under control?
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
I'm only playing.
Good
Imperious.
I know. I'm just saying, like all this, like, dude, you had. I mean, name any person, any show, anything on here, and all the people are just babbling about bullshit. Like CT show yesterday, babbling about violence and movies and music. There's been extensive study that movies and music have zero effect. Media has zero effect on the proclivity of people to commit violence. Zero.
Really?
None. It's actually a negative correlatory. Actually, if people play violent video games, they actually have a less likelihood of being violent.
Imperious, that's the argument they used back in the 80s and early 90s. You know, video games make young men evil, and I'm like, bullshit. I played a lot of violent.
I mean, it was the whole curse. It was the whole fucking MS or MP13 stickers all over music and shit by Tipper Gore. Tipper Gore in the 90s.
Tipper Gore, thank you. Yeah, it was Tipper Gore. You're right. Yeah.
He pushed that shit.
So then what is it? Genetics?
Yes.
What is what? No, yes, it's just genetics.
Genetics.
It's genetics and fear of no fear of repercussion. I can guarantee you, if the punishment for let's say someone goes out and murders someone, if the punishment is that you have to watch your entire family be melted alive, like their skin melted off their bones, you have to watch it, and then you're flayed alive for 9 days straight, there wouldn't be murder. There wouldn't be.
Interesting.
It all comes down to like Schopenhauer said, the world is an imposition of will. If there's a greater will that just says, okay, every criminal that commits a crime, their entire family line dies.
Hey. I knew Imperius was a Schopenhauer guy. I knew he was going to quote Schopenhauer.
Well, I believe that about the line of people who touch, like pedophiles. I feel that the whole line should just be zapped out.
You got to agree with you on that. Any crime. No. You got to be no. You have to see. You got to take the Tarkin doctrine. You rule through the fear of force, not through direct force. So what you do is you make an example. You take someone who jaywalked and you burn their family alive to show people your real spirit.
Okay.
And then you take an orphan.
Wait.
Jaywalking.
No. See, no, you don't. This is what I'm trying to say. Yes. Yes. No. That's the whole point. Nobody fears you. You can start at the.
You sound comical, Imperius, right now.
No, I'm not. It's called window breaking policing.
What you're
No,
saying
it's
is
called
you
window
burn,
breaking
if you
police.
come from a family who's got a paedophile in it, the entire family burns.
That I agree.
Yes.
But jaywalking.
And
No, not
if
really.
you have a
Not
little
really.
kid that talks back in school, the parents' tongues are cut off.
What?
I'm old
That's
school.
not fair.
I'm a soul from 2,000 years ago.
Imperious,
I don't believe in this.
No. Imperious, no. I need. Can I come back, Imperious, real quick?
By that definition, your family would be dead because you cut everyone off, Imperious. Stop.
Right. That's
Yeah,
No,
that would
I
be
never
in my
spoke.
case
No,
is-
I never spoke in school. The
With
priest
what
would have
RLM
smacked
said
the
about
shit out of me. No,
Okay,
see, I was
Imperious.
raised under the children are to be seen and not heard.
Imperious. now
Even
it's
to
not-
this day,
That was us.
even to this day, I don't speak around my dad until he asks me to speak.
Now
Same.
who's being autistic? Imperious, let me come back your.
That's not
argument.
autistic. That's respect.
No,
respect.
because you called me autistic for interrupting you. Now let me interrupt you proper. I went to private school. I went through corporal punishment, and yes, my father did belt me, put his paws on my face that left a mark. I went through hell, but to the point where just because I chat back to the teacher, that means my entire bloodline needs to be deleted. No, yes. What was
I didn't say you'd be.
housebound?
No, I said your tongues would be cut off. No, I said the tongues would be cut off.
Okay, that's even diabolical. All I got was, I basically my teacher was like, "Have you done your homework on the weekend?" No, miss, I didn't. She's like, "Give me all your textbooks." You know what she would do? She would stack
Okay,
up
then
all
you
the
cut the
books,
pinky off.
and then no,
Then you
and
cut
she
the
will
pinky
smash
off.
it.
You cut
No,
the
she will smash-
you cut the
she will
pinky off.
smash- Imperious, listen.
No, you
She will
cut the
smash
pinky off.
books. Imperious, we are not in goddamn fantasy. I'm talking about reality right now.
No, but that's not fantasy. This
No.
dude.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
what
no,
I'm.
no, no,
like,
no. Why would you? Okay, anybody in the school, why would you cut off their finger if you want them to learn? Why? Why? That's a hindrance. That's not positive.
No, it's not. See, this is what I'm saying. You guys aren't leaders of men. You don't know how to form
you're
an army.
You're in school,
You don't know how to
and you
control.
punch
You don't know.
people,
You don't know
lose a finger.
discipline, bro. All that matters is discipline and obedience. Only thing that matters is
That's not
discipline and
discipline.
obedience.
that's
Everything
that's-
after that is secondary.
No, that's
That
not
is
discipline.
true.
Force.
Yeah, it is.
Force.
Have you ever seen a United States? Have you ever seen an inner city school? How many times? Why don't you go? Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. I got to go to
I
a
was
meeting.
raised
But
in the Middle
why don't you go
East.
look
I
up the
know
Newport Beach? No,
you don't know
he doesn't
modernism.
know. Do you see how he keeps talking? You see how he
Exactly,
keeps talking?
because you're talking
You
nonsense.
see, this is
I'm
what
gonna
I'm. This is
talk over you.
okay. It's
Nonsense,
nonsense.
Imperious.
It's nonsense. But you don't have a way to fix
I
anything.
lived
I
in
do.
barbarism.
Venta, let him finish. Let him
I'm
finish.
sorry.
Again, that's
How long? How long?
you
must
see how
I
he just
contain
talk.
this
Like
nonsense?
it's fine, dude. Let him talk about how he thinks he can solve the problem by being a woman.
I mean,
Be a woman. It's okay.
It would
Be a woman
solve
and
the
feel sorry for the
idiocracy
bad people.
problem that we have right now. I mean, it would
No,
solve.
I just know he's never been to. He's never been to an inner city United States school where every person that goes in there has to go through a metal detector, gets pat down. He doesn't know the real world, and this is why I say people who don't know what they say and are wrong should be offed. Vanta's the example. He's never been. He doesn't know what a war zone the inner city schools in the United States are, and he thinks that's scary. This is what I'm trying to say.
Even though I live in
Have you been to Chicago? You been to Los Angeles? You been to New York City School?
Actually,
Have you been to those schools?
No,
Have you been to those
no,
schools?
Melanie, I'm too fat for Imperious, but thank you.
Do you see? No, I'm not. This is what I'm saying. You can't.
Melanie's like, we should hook up because I'm giving you.
You can't have low level discussion. This is what I'm saying. Nobody on here wants actual discussions for solutions. They want to project how good they are.
Let me ask you a question because you did have an interesting conversation.
Vanta wants to project that he's a good person. Oh my God, I'm not
civilized the whole time. What are you talking?
No, you're not. You can't keep your mouth shut.
No,
if you did come from the Middle East,
because you're talking nonsense. You're talking nonsense. I have to interject.
I'm out of here. I can't.
Can I ask Melanie? Is that the trans person? The fox?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Imp. Appreciate you. That's Mel. Mel's a trans. Mel's is a trans.
Oh. Yeah. No, I've seen the name. I just forgot.
Shout out to Melanie.
So that
Shout
was
out to
exciting.
Imp. I did want to ask him, I mean, because he made an interesting point last night on Ertz, and I was watching it, and I wanted to ask him about it. He said he'd rather clean a man's foot than have sex with a woman because like at least a man's foot doesn't have other men's cum on it.
RLM, that was diabolical.
That was an interesting take.
What kind of skank is he sleeping with that has other men's cum still
Like,
on
he's
them?
so skeeved out by women who've been with men besides like him that he'd rather, they were talking about Jesus and how, Jesus cleaned other men's feet, right? And how he'd rather do that. So he said, and MGTOW was on the panel. I thought it was interesting. And he said he'd rather clean MGTOW's feet than be with a woman because a woman ultimately has other men's cum in her.
God. And by the way,
that means you're gay.
Exactly. Thank you to
What's up, Ricardo? Welcome. Long time no see.
How does he know that the foot doesn't have other men's cum on it anyway?
This is true. This is true. They are foot fetishes.
Oh, come on. When a bloke finished coming inside a woman, as soon as they stand up, it drips out.
But whenever you come back, I would like to expound on that because I thought that was actually an interesting conversation. But guys, no one has paid to extend the show, so what I'm going to do is what I normally do: drop everyone one by one, and let's do this really quick. Hafez, I always love having you here, Hafez. If you were closer, I would date you, Hafez. I love you.
Love you too, my love.
If you'd have me, thank you for being here, babes. Appreciate you.
Take it. Ciao.
Venta, what say you, sir? Before we leave,
I just want to say I don't like I'm joking. Thank you for having me on RLM. I try to remain civil.
No. I appreciated your input. I thought it was an important topic. I think it's a good topic to have. And when you engage and you don't go on spur on your ADD modes, like you're actually interesting and have a good takes. And I love you, Vanta.
Me too, my dear. Thank you. And hopefully have more fun conversations like this. I love it. But
yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just want to make it known that my time is money. I don't have thankfully unless I'm in the mood, I don't have to do the really long streams. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ryan for taking good care of me.
Baby. Make your money.
I'm here to make money. So thank you. I appreciate you, babes. Okay. Paro, you're becoming one of my favorite panelists. Thank you so much for showing your face when I go live.
Well, thanks for having me up. I am certainly blessed. You're becoming one of my favorite hosts. So
thank you.
Be blessed.
And always drop your information in the chat. Everyone can go and support our friend Paro here, Wizard. Let's not disregard our elders. Well, he and I are probably closer to the same age because they've lived through some shit and they have some shit to share. I think Craigie left. Toots, as always, you impress me every day, babe. You came out and you gave me some great opposition today, and we had some good discourse. You being a mom, I value what you have to say. You being a stay-at-home mom, you're blessed. And like I said, I'm lucky to have you here.
Yeah, it was a tough road to get to where I'm at. It was a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of hard times, but that's the thing. You gotta want to get out and actually do it. So
you can either roll around the mud and dwell in your pains and your sorrows and use it as a weapon, being your victimhood, as a crutch, but that gets old. That gets boring. Yeah. Nobody likes a story. No one likes a story greater than the hero's journey. And so it's good to be able to tap into something of pain, but to be able to say that you were a victor, and it is even better. So I hope that message reverberates. Thank you guys for all your feedback and your input. As I always say, chat, without you, I wouldn't be here. Keep your head on the motherfucking swivel and be grateful for the breath that you took today, because tomorrow you might not get the same opportunity.
Voice drifting through the midnight when she walks and every head turns slow. Beauty in the room, but the mind steals the show. Conspiracies whisper through the mic tone. Psychology breaking down the unknown. Politics, love, and mythology. Every page turning curiosity. Open up the book of RLM. Every secret gotta look again. Late night minds when the truth begins. Turn the page in the book of RM. Yeah, they watch what they listen to. Every chapter got a different view. From the heart to the mind within. Turn the page in the book of RM. Classy aura, but the tension's deep. Questions that keep the whole world from sleep. Religion, love, what the truth might be. Every story got a mystery. Eyes on her, but the mind pulls in. Every word like a velvet wind. When the night gets quiet again, they come back to the page within. Open up the book of our never sleep, I gotta look again. Till the truth begins. Turn the page in the book of our yeah, they watch what they listen to. Every chapter got a different view. From the heart to the mind within. Turn the page in the book of our Turn the page in the book of our when the city sleeps and the lights grow dim, truth still